In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on February 7, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Southern California versus Purdue. The Southern California Trojans, currently holding a record of 13-9 overall and 5-6 in Big Ten Conference play, are set to face off against the 7th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers, who boast an 18-5 overall record and a dominant 10-2 standing within the Big Ten. This matchup marks the beginning of what could develop into an intense conference rivalry, as Southern California recently transitioned from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten. These two programs did not have the opportunity to meet last season due to Southern California's previous conference affiliation. The Trojans entered this contest coming off a heartbreaking road loss to Northwestern, where they fought hard but ultimately fell 77-75, despite managing to cover the spread as 2.5-point underdogs. Meanwhile, the Boilermakers are riding the momentum of a strong road victory over Iowa, securing a 90-81 win and successfully covering the 6.5-point spread as favorites. Purdue has been playing at an elite level lately, fueled by exceptional performances from their star players. One of their key contributors, Braden Smith, has been on a scoring tear, most recently dropping an impressive 31 points. Prior to that, he delivered back-to-back 24-point performances, showcasing his ability to consistently put points on the board. Beyond his scoring prowess, Smith is also excelling as a facilitator, ranking 3rd in the nation in assists, which significantly enhances Purdue's offensive efficiency. Another standout for the Boilermakers is Kaufman Wren, who has stepped out of Zach Edey's shadow and emerged as the team's leading scorer. His consistency has been remarkable, as he has scored at least 15 points in each of his last 8 games. On the other hand, Southern California faces uncertainty within their lineup, particularly concerning their top scorer, Desmond Claude. Claude sustained a bone bruise on his leg during a game against Michigan State, forcing him to sit out the following matchup against Northwestern, where his absence was felt in the team's narrow loss. The Trojans' ability to remain competitive against Purdue will largely depend on their health and lineup stability. Furthermore, Southern California's defense has been subpar, ranking just 86th in efficiency. This could pose a major problem against Purdue, which possesses the 7th best offense in the nation, making this an incredibly difficult challenge for the Trojans on the defensive end. This contest represents the first ever meeting between these two programs, and the Boilermakers appear to have a significant advantage, particularly given that they are playing at home. Purdue is currently riding a 3-game winning streak, during which they have outscored opponents by an average margin of 14 points per game. In their 10 conference victories, half have been won by at least 18 points, with 3 of those dominant performances occurring at Mackey Arena. Meanwhile, the Trojans have been inconsistent in recent road games, splitting their last 4 with a 2-2 record. Statistically, these teams appear to be evenly matched in terms of offensive production, but Purdue holds a distinct edge with additional shooting depth that could create issues for Southern California's defense. Rebounding is not a primary strength for either team, but the Boilermakers have a slight advantage in that department as well. Where Purdue truly shines is on defense, as they apply relentless pressure on their opponents, which could severely disrupt Southern California's offensive rhythm, especially in front of a hostile crowd. The Boilermakers have been dominant at Mackey Arena this season, holding an impressive 11-1 straight-up record and a solid 7-5 mark against the spread. So the Purdue Boilermakers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This upcoming clash features 2 offenses that sit comfortably in the middle tier of Big Ten scoring averages, with both teams producing over 76 points per game. However, neither team is known for playing at a particularly fast pace. According to the KenPom Tempo rankings, Southern California currently ranks 156th in terms of pace, while Purdue operates at an even slower tempo, ranking 287th. Despite their moderate pace, both teams are highly efficient on offense, with each ranking in the top 50 nationwide in adjusted offensive efficiency. Over their last 3 games, Purdue has been lighting up the scoreboard, averaging an impressive 87 points per contest. Additionally, over their last 7 outings, the Boilermakers have eclipsed the 90-point mark on 3 separate occasions. Southern California, meanwhile, has also been productive on the offensive end, scoring at least 75 points in 5 of their last 7 games. A strong trend in favor of high-scoring affairs is evident, as the over has cashed in 29 games combined between these two teams this season. When analyzing offensive and defensive efficiency metrics, both teams rank higher on offense than defense. Southern California currently sits at 49th in offensive efficiency but lags behind at 86th in defensive efficiency. Purdue, meanwhile, boasts a much stronger profile, ranking 7th in offensive efficiency and 32nd on the defensive end. The biggest mismatch in this game occurs when Purdue has possession, as Smith has been phenomenal in both scoring and distributing, while Southern California has struggled to contain opposing offenses. This trend is further reinforced by recent betting outcomes, as the Boilermakers have hit the over in each of their last 4 games, scoring at least 81 points in their last 3 contests. Southern California has also been involved in several high-scoring affairs, with the over cashing in 7 of their last 8 games, including an explosive 99-point performance against Iowa. Given the offensive firepower on display and the lack of elite defensive resistance, this game is shaping up to be another high-scoring battle. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. VCU versus Dayton. On Friday night, the highly anticipated matchup between the VCU Rams and the Dayton Flyers will take place at UD Arena. The Rams enter this game holding an impressive overall record of 18 wins and 5 losses, which has positioned them in second place in conference play. Over their last 9 games, VCU has been on a strong run, emerging victorious in 8 of those contests. Meanwhile, Dayton comes into this game with an overall record of 16 wins and 7 losses, placing them in 4th within the conference standings. The Flyers have also been in good form recently, securing wins in 5 of their last 6 games. This showdown between 2 competitive Atlantic 10 teams is expected to be a tightly contested battle. The primary factor that could tilt the game in one direction is Dayton's formidable home court advantage. The Flyers boast one of the most difficult environments for visiting teams, as the atmosphere inside UD Arena can be deafening, making communication a challenge for opposing squads. Dayton has demonstrated dominance at home, accumulating an outstanding 13-1 record when playing on their own court. Additionally, when the Flyers have been underdogs, they have performed well against the spread, covering in 4 out of 5 instances. Offensively, Dayton is highly efficient, converting 46.6% of their field goal attempts, a statistic that ranks them 85th nationally. Furthermore, they are a force on the boards, particularly on the offensive glass, which could pose significant problems for VCU. On the other hand, VCU's offense has struggled from beyond the arc, ranking 218th in the nation in 3-point shooting. While their defense has been among the strongest in the country, they have encountered difficulties in closing out tightly contested games. When favored by single digits, the Rams have managed to cover the spread 5 times out of 8 attempts. Throughout the past month, VCU has consistently played better basketball, showing resilience and tenacity, particularly on the defensive end. Their defense tends to travel well, meaning they can bring their intensity even in tough road matchups. Conversely, Dayton has experienced a roller coaster of performances this season. Once projected as the team to beat in the A-10, the Flyers have shown inconsistencies, especially on the offensive end. Some of their recent losses, including setbacks against George Washington and George Mason, have been particularly disappointing. Nevertheless, despite their inconsistencies, Dayton possesses enough talent to compete with any team in the conference. Their home dominance is also a significant factor, as they have compiled a remarkable 13-1 record on their home floor. In fact, dating back to February 2023, the Flyers have only suffered 2 home losses, making their venue one of the toughest places for opponents to secure a win. So the Dayton Flyers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I have a strong conviction that both teams will put forth a highly competitive effort in this matchup. Both squads play at a slower pace compared to the national average, as reflected by their adjusted tempo rankings according to Ken Palm. VCU ranks 208, while Dayton ranks even lower at 281st. Although recent trends indicate that the over has hit in VCU's last 4 games, Dayton's contests have told a different story, with the under cashing in each of their last 3 matchups. Over that stretch, the Flyers have averaged just 64 24 points per game, emphasizing their preference for controlled, methodical play. This game could turn into a back-and-forth affair for the majority of the contest, preventing either team from establishing a comfortable lead. While VCU is the superior defensive unit, Dayton's disciplined style could neutralize some of the Rams' strengths. The Flyers do not commit many fouls, ranking 39th nationally in opponent free throw attempt rate, which means they will not give VCU many opportunities at the charity stripe. Additionally, Dayton is exceptional at taking care of the basketball and limiting second chance opportunities for their opponents, ranking 49th in potential points allowed off offensive rebounds and 81st in second chance conversion percentage relative to the average opponent. Given these factors, a lower scoring game is the likely outcome. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. St. John's versus Connecticut. The 12th-ranked St. John's Red Storm will be going up against the 19th-ranked Connecticut Huskies on Friday night. Both teams are coming off victories over Marquette, which sets the stage for an exciting matchup between these two Big East rivals. Friday's college basketball schedule will feature a highly anticipated Big East showdown between the St. John's Red Storm and the Connecticut Huskies. The Connecticut Huskies, who have won 2 consecutive national championships, are undoubtedly a powerhouse in the sport. However, they haven't consistently looked like the dominant team we've come to expect this season. That being said, their performance may be starting to improve after a significant victory at Marquette last Saturday. In that game, their offense was firing on all cylinders, shooting 59% from the field and an impressive 63% from beyond the arc. Additionally, their defense did an excellent job of containing Marquette's high-powered offense, which is ranked in the top 25. Now, after a 6-day break following that win, Connecticut will be well-rested and ready to take on St. John's, who just pulled off a buzzer-beater win against Providence and followed that up with a hard-fought victory over Marquette this past Tuesday. Given that this will be St. John's 3rd consecutive high-pressure game, it's hard to overlook how favorable this situation is for Connecticut, especially as they play at home in Gampel Pavilion on Friday night. It's safe to say that the St. John's offense is far less potent than what Connecticut faced against Marquette, which should work to the Huskies' advantage. Connecticut will also benefit from the return of star freshman forward Liam McNeely, who is arguably the most talented player on their roster. McNeely's impact was noticeably missed during the 5 weeks he was sidelined with an ankle injury he sustained on January 1st against DePaul. Additionally, I'm expecting Hassan Dyer to be in the lineup and make a significant impact on both sides of the ball. Dyer will likely be tasked with guarding Kateri Richmond, which could play a crucial role in limiting St. John's offense. The Red Storm have struggled to score efficiently in Big East play, with Rick Pitino's squad relying heavily on dominating the offensive glass and winning the shot volume battle to secure victories. In fact, St. John's ranks just 10th in Big East effective field goal percentage, which doesn't bode well for their chances of keeping up with a Connecticut offense that is currently ranked in the top 10 in the nation, according to Ken Palm and Bart Orvik. On top of that, the Red Storm are ranked outside the top 300 in both three-point rate and three-point percentage on offense this season. This is problematic because Connecticut's perimeter defense has proven to be vulnerable, and St. John's needs to find a way to capitalize on that weakness. St. John's currently holds the top spot in the Big East standings, but they have had significant struggles on the offensive end of the floor. The Red Storm are ranked 9th in field goal percentage and dead last in three-point percentage within the Big East. Despite averaging 73 points per game, their offensive inefficiencies have been evident. On the other hand, Connecticut has experienced moments this season where they didn't look like a team ready to secure their 3rd consecutive national championship. However, their big win over Marquette on the road is likely to propel them on a strong run moving forward. Connecticut leads the Big East in points per game and three-point percentage, and they are 2nd in field goal percentage. Defensively, the Huskies have been solid, allowing only 72 points per game within the conference. This game is expected to be closely contested, with the margin likely to be 5 points or less. One key factor contributing to St. John's potential loss on Friday is their significant free throw struggles. The Red Storm are shooting a mere 68.4% from the charity stripe, and they have missed over 60% of their free throws in 2 of their last 3 games. With Connecticut poised for a strong run in the Big East, a victory over St. John's would be a crucial step toward their goal. Taking all factors into account, I believe the better offensive team and the favorable situational spot in stores will lead Connecticut to victory on Friday, so the Connecticut Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While St. John's may be struggling offensively, their defense should not be underestimated. The Red Storm are not shooting the ball efficiently in Big East play and have failed to establish any consistency from beyond the arc all season long. St. John's is shooting just 24.2% from three-point range and has made the fewest three-pointers in the Big East. Moreover, they have scored 70 points or fewer in their last 3 games. On the flip side, Connecticut has been effective offensively this season, but St. John's defense will likely limit the Huskies from reaching their scoring average. Connecticut is not a particularly deep team and has been prone to ball handling issues and poor decision-making. For example, they committed 25 turnovers in their game against Marquette, which is a glaring weakness that could be exploited. St. John's leads the Big East in steals per game, so they'll look to capitalize on Connecticut's turnover problems. This game is expected to be a defensive battle, with the score likely staying in the 60 seconds. I don't anticipate either team surpassing their season averages in this matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.